Hey guys, welcome back home to the channel. I want to do a little bit of a different video today and just talk. Because I was talking to somebody the other day at the dog park actually, and we were talking about, I guess, just small businesses in general, but it brought me back to my time working at a bait and tackle shop here in my hometown. I worked there for about 2 years. And there's just a lot of experience that I have from that, and a lot of things that I want to. It's not the longest time in the world, but just a lot of things I noticed and insight that I gained into that industry, and some ideas that I have turning around that I want to put out there in case maybe there's somebody that wants to start a bait and tackle shop out there, or maybe there's people that think that's obsolete in this day and age. I want to tell you some reasons why that's not obsolete and what could actually make this work, and just give some tips from my perspective and some of the things that me and that guy were talking about the other day, some ideas that I think could really make it work even in 2025, because I know that nowadays, I mean, obviously an ever-growing conversation is AI, robots working in factories possibly one day. You know, everything's shifting more online, it seems like, by the day. But there's some things that I think will start to kind of self-regulate that issue, and it kind of connects to this topic as well, because yes, there is always a cheaper version of a product on Amazon. However, on Amazon you can't get it right away, and you don't get maybe the experience along with it. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. If you are wanting to do an outdoor store or a bait and tackle shop, I believe there's still real value, and there's definitely, I think, a demographic that caters to, and that's definitely, you know, the people that are in fishing still, in that space of that hobby, and hunting as well. And so that's kind of what I want to talk about. Is number one, like the big overarching thing that I would say is service above all else when it comes to getting a leg up above online services or big box stores or whatever. Listen, they're the ones that are going to be able to put their bottom line on just pushing out the product and making, making their profit purely from just pushing out product, adjusting sale prices, giving clearance sales, all that stuff. Like, that's the thing, is they have the scalability as a big box store. They have the resources to have more employees, to allow them to toy around with things and make kind of sometimes moves that are more of like, maybe they don't make a huge margin off of their sales or whatever if they're doing like an actual sale or like a clearance thing, but if they generate interest into their store, they get people in the store, they might buy something else because they have, again, like a large volume of stuff that they can offer people. And with a small business and like a bait and tackle shop, especially right away before you're able to grow, you're not going to have the ability to compete with prices. That's just what it is. I mean, in my experience, what I've seen, and the one that I worked at, like, things are going to be marked up, you know, like big products. You're not going to be able to take $50 off of a Vexilar. You're not going to be able to give a hugely, you know, a competitive price to a customer on a hunting blind or an Eskimo fish shack, because that margin, you don't have the same volume of products, number one, and so that margin needs to be bigger for each product. So what I would say is, back to that huge original point, kind of the overarching thing, is create a service and experience that people are missing at like a Farm and Fleet or a Shields or a Dick's Sporting Goods. And I'm going to go through kind of several subpoints of this, because that's the thing, is you need to create loyalty and people that will keep coming back and support you in various ways. And, you know, even doing like community stuff and staying active in that. That's kind of what this all boils down to. I don't think that's necessarily a secret, but I want to put that kind of first overarching point. That's what this all comes down to, is it has to be an experience and a service and a kind of an interrelational experience that they can't get when they just walk through a big sporting goods store, because that's what that's there for. It's there, you know, to just kind of go in, get the product, get help. But when it comes to loyalty and creating kind of relationships amongst your customers, that's what you can do in a small business. So number one, what I'd say is hours. the number one tip, maybe not, these aren't in a particular order, but this is the first one I'll give, is hours. When it comes to fishing, people want to get out there early, and a lot of times people want to stop by and get something before they go out, or maybe they forgot something. And when something is available when other places aren't, that's a huge leg up, and that's something you can do, especially in the summer and fall. I think, like, we're in Wisconsin, the winter, I don't think that's as necessary, but when it's like peak walleye season and stuff especially, I think you want to have early morning hours. And so that's going to be like sunrise or before, preferably even. And you might not even get a lot of business right away for that, but just being available for those hours, I think, is huge. And even sometimes in those windows of time, this is another point, is a lot of guys just kind of want to come in and just, you know, kind of just talk shop before they go out onto the lake and connect with people that are within their field of interest, like what they like to do, you know, similar interests. And that brings me kind of to my second point, which is create a hangout. This might sound kind of weird, I don't know, maybe for a bait and tackle shop, but here's the thing, guys, is there's a lot of commonality amongst people around this hobby, fishing and hunting and outdoor sports. And that can be a connecting point for people. And that's something you're not going to get ever at like big box stores, because they have to focus on retail. Okay. And yes, the retail product, that's the goal eventually, is for your retail product to generate income for you, but it's not going to generate the success, because again, like, you're not, especially right off the ground, you're not going to be able to compete with big box stores. And so this is like a huge point, I think, is create a hangout, put a cafe in there, put a coffee pot at least. You know, if you can support and just kind of go for it, take higher risk, high reward, like put a cafe and with some lounging areas, and allow people to just hang out as long as they want at the bait and tackle shop, and find people that they connect with, the employees, but also other customers. And I think that's huge, because the guy I mentioned at the beginning of the video that I was talking to at the dog park said that there was something kind of like that. I forget which town, it might have been in Canada or something, but that is huge. And I've always kind of thought that, because here in the town where I'm at right now, we have a board game store, and this isn't like a huge area where you think something like that would really survive, especially in 2025. But guess what? They have an area in the back where you can go and you can play Magic the Gathering, or, you know, whatever. It's usually some of the deeper games. Like I was gonna say, you can go and play board games, which is kind of what it is, but you can go play RPGs with other people, or, you know, they have nights where people come to the board game store and they just play with other people, you know, play various games with other people and hang out and stuff. And so I think they're doing well over there, and that's all to this point of creating this concept of like the third place. And a lot of people, like, I look back fondly on my college years, and a lot of it was like I had a place to go and just kind of hang out and be around people, and there were tons of options with that. And that's why people, I think, like church a lot too. I mean, obviously you should go there for God, but like the community aspect is so huge, and you've got to create that for people, not just for your bottom line, but just for the general good of humanity. You know, I think that could be a really cool thing for the outdoor community. So that's what I'd say, kind of create that new product. So that's number two. A third thing would be pour into your employees. Yes, you'd want to get people with some wisdom, maybe some experience, maybe some older people, but if there's younger people hungry to learn, pour into them and give them your knowledge so that they can give that to customers, especially kind of local. You don't need to give out specific coordinates of fishing spots, but good information that people can come to. Like, we're missing that nowadays, and that used to be what it was, I think, is you go to a bait and tackle shop and be like, hey, you know, give me some of the tea of how I can be successful around here and I don't have to waste my time in this new area figuring out what to do, and I can just go and have some fun and have just a little bit of success right away. So pour wisdom, knowledge, relationship into your employees. And kind of a sub point, but let's say number 4 would be don't leave your employees hanging. The one employee in the shop thing, I get it's tough financially, but I mean, listen, this is maybe another point too. Like, if you're gonna do this, like, go for it. And so I would say have more than one employee in the shop, and then, you know, that's gonna really help customer service, because you're gonna be able to kind of teamwork. I mean, if you can have, you know, 3 or more employees in a shop and have kind of a bigger space, like I said, go for it. If you're gonna do it and do it right. So that's really all, like, the big points that I have. Oh, actually, I forgot. A 5th point would be, I think a big thing is, like, offering other services. So, like, even something as simple as, like, spooling reels, but coming up with some other services. Like at the shop that I was at, they did dock and lift service, which was a little bit tough to manage sometimes with the retail shop, because we had, I don't even know, probably not even over 10 employees. So, like, making sure that the things that you were doing are actually scalable to what you have available to you, but having services on top of it, and that's kind of ties into some of the other things I was talking about, is like, make sure your employees know how to do things that maybe they can't get at a big box store. And nothing else is really coming to me at the moment, but I mean, I'm talking about things like possible, you know, if you're doing hunting, like being able to string bows, or, you know, and I know that's a huge, like, that's its own thing, but something like that. And in the fishing world, like, spooling reels isn't hard, but, you know, maybe some sort of reel repair, you know, having just one employee that could do that, like offering other services to get people in the door. And if you do a service well, that's going to bring them back and they might buy stuff from your store. But then that also, like, services are typically a better margin and a better a better bottom line for income as well, because you don't have to, like, buy a product and then upsell it to get it sold out the door or whatever. It's just a service that you provide, and then they kind of just pay flat rate for whatever service you're providing. So that's what I'd say. I appreciate anybody that watched. Hopefully this was helpful for you. I would say number 1, just, you know, provide that service. There's those sub points in there that I provided, but focus on that experience and that service for your customers. And, you know, and like I said, if you're gonna do something like this, go for it, go all in, and don't leave anything out there. Don't leave anything on the field or on the sideline. Leave it all on the field is what I should say. So with that, if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, you know the drill. Hopefully we'll have, you know, more stuff coming here. I think I'm getting a little bit better at staying on the top of stuff, coming up with ideas, but we're going into fall now in Wisconsin, so we have duck hunting and deer season coming up, and so look out for videos about that. And hopefully more informational stuff like this. I'll show you some duck builds, some duck boat builds that I did, one duck boat build that I did, and then maybe some other builds on other things. So if you enjoyed this, please subscribe and help me out, and we can keep videos coming and just have some fun. So like I said, thank you for watching, and we hope to see you next time on the channel. Have a great day. Thanks.